across beds, hearts and bucks.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
And this is BBC Three Counties Radio. I'm Nana Akua. You're listening to the Health and Wellbeing Show. Now, have you ever heard of something called bioenergy healing? Have you heard of it? No? Well, listen, this is what it is. It's based on the premise that each individual is surrounded by an electromagnetic field of energy known as an aura. So you've heard of an aura, most of us have. Our clients have noted improvements in asthma, arthritis, backache, insomnia, migraines, amongst other things. Let's find out more from Michael Doherty. Now, he has been a bioenergy healer for almost 30 years, and he famously helped cure Lord of the Dance star Michael Flatley of a mystery illness. He joins me on the line now. So hello, Michael. Welcome to the show.
Good evening, Nana, and thank you very much for having me on. I appreciate it.
It's a pleasure. Now, this to me is fascinating. First of all, you've been doing this for 30 years. When did you sort of step into this? When did you find out about it and decide, I'm going to do this?
Yeah, about 28 years ago, I'd been involved in martial arts, and we had learned of this work going on in Yugoslavia, former Yugoslavia at the time, and we went there to learn all about this. And then we came back to Ireland and started doing this work, and in the UK, of course, just working with the energy system. There was the understanding then that the body, as you said, was made up of energy, and this energy flows through us to keep us alive, and if this energy becomes imbalanced, the body becomes ill. So we knew this was the case, but thankfully 28 years later, Nana, we have now unequivocally realized that yes, absolutely, if we break our bodies down and to its cell subatomic level, we find an energy frequency, and ultimately modern day life, stresses, poor diet, the pressures of modern day life imbalance the flow of this energy, and this in turn literally makes the body ill.
Now, we know that this exists, right? So this aura, this thing, we know it exists. Then is this a fact that it exists?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Professor Valerie Hunt, whom I knew quite well, she worked with NASA for 25 years, and in her book, Infinite Mind, she was able to demonstrate clearly, how one person interacted with the other. I mean, we know now the science of one person's intention affects another person's physiology. Professor Nordenström of Sweden, who was a pioneer of needle biopsy, eminent in the medical field, discovered that the body had this independent electrical system, totally independent of the nervous system. And he was able to show that this independent electrical system actually was the energy system of the body. And of course, this is what was related to for thousands of years in Eastern cultures like the Taoists and the Buddhists and so on. They were very much aware that there was this unified field or field of information that was continuously reflecting itself through our body.
I see. So if somebody comes to you, what do you do? How do you go about trying to heal them? And this aura, can you see the aura?
No, I mean, for us, we have developed the ability to feel it, and that's what's most important. And the thing about it is, Nana, 28 years ago, we just worked with the energy, so we developed skills and techniques to balance the energy using our hands without touching the body. But now, of course, given the modern day problems, we have to bring in much, much more. Now we look at everything because food is energy, our thoughts are energy, our emotions are energy. So everything converts to something in the body. So we need to look at energy first from the energy field and how that's flowing. Then we need to look at the stress energy. We need to look at the energy from our nutrition. We need to look at our environment. So we have to look at what impacts this energy system. And when you think of people out there right now who are diagnosed with conditions like fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue, irritable bowel syndrome, all of these symptoms, they're all symptoms of the imbalance of the energy system initially. And then, of course, what happens is that when the energy system becomes imbalanced as a result of our stress and trauma or whatever, then we adapt the behavior. And a lot of the time, that behavior is with our food and so on. And if we adapt the wrong type of behavior in dealing with the modern day problems, then we end up with these symptoms. So ultimately, when people come to our clinic, we literally have to break the body down to every level. The energy system, the mindset, the emotions, the physical state, the nutritional side of things. And I work with a number of medical people, and where that's relevant and necessary, then we would also be referring people to have further medical assessments if that wasn't carried out.
I see. So you kind of work with the medical profession in all of this as well, but it sounds quite, there's a lot of evidence base here. So you'll look at what they're eating, what's around them. You're not just taking a simple approach that take that tablet, do this, you're actually breaking down all the systems around that person, complete environmental kind of factors that create the situation that allow whatever it is to exist, like any illness that I see.
Yeah. And the thing about it is, when we think of the problems that people have today, and we think of the enormous amounts of money and time and effort that people are investing in their illness. Every day people go shopping, and they think, well, I'm taking this and I'm eating this because, well, it tastes nice. But it's actually oftentimes it's feeding our illness. And, social media has in a way disconnected us from ourselves, and we're so disconnected from how we function and who we are. And if only we could do the simple things right in life. And I've often said to people, when they come to my clinic, Nana, I say to them, where do you see yourself in 3 months' time? Where do you see yourself in 6 months or 9 months' time? And they'll always say, well, I don't know. And I say to them, well, don't you think you plan for your marriage, you plan for your job, you plan for a holiday, you plan to go on a trip,
yeah.
You don't plan for your health. And this is the biggest problem that I see, certainly in my work, that, if people listening to our show here now could just literally sit down and get a blank page and say, this is my name, I'm going to take control of what I'm in control of, I'm going to script my future, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to overcome my problems. So when people come to us, that's exactly what we need to do. We look at creating a strategy that gives the individual control, because a lot of the time there's this expectation that somebody's going to wave a magic wand and someone's going to cure our problems. No, what's going to happen is, for people listening, you've got to do it. What you need is the knowledge, the tools, the techniques, the skills, and the strategy. And if you do that, then the evidence shows that by making those simple lifestyle changes, that your body can recover. And like you said earlier, I've seen people over the last 28 years recover from the most serious of illnesses by working in this integrated way, Nana.
Do you know what? I can hear what you're saying in many aspects of that, because it is really breaking down your environment, but actually putting it in those segments and working out how you can fix those things. Mm-hmm. And it's funny how it all sort of comes together if you do that. So this whole thing. So. Is it almost like treatment? It's like a proper course of treatment, isn't it? People come and they're actually treated. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. People come, it's a 4-day treatment. It's an hour each day. We get people here, I go to London, to UK and see people. People come from America to my clinic in Ireland and different parts of Europe. And, the whole idea is that people come for the 4 days. It's an hour each day. And, we literally go through everything. And we, take people away from this sort of quick fix idea. We've become accustomed to this sort of convenient world of where we can press a button and expect everything. The reality is, if you want to be healthy, you have to work hard at it. If you want to be successful in anything, you have to work hard at it. And this is what people need to do. They need to waken up out of the illusion, Nana, that there is some magic wand or magic pill. And by all means, medicine has a role to play. But, if we only look at today, we see published that 25% of deaths are caused by environmental problems. So, that's a published and established fact. So we have to clearly look at what's really causing our illnesses. And when people come, I ask 3 questions to my clinic. 1, where is your problem coming from? 2, how is it affecting you? And 3, how are you dealing with it? So it's very rarely understood as to where people's problems are coming from. They know how they're feeling and they're dealing with it with medication or whatever way, but they've never looked at where the problem is coming from. And unless you identify what the real cause of your problem is and then confront it in the best way possible, it's only then that you can overcome these problems. There is no magic wand or magic pill that's going to solve the modern day complex issues that exist in our environment.
Well, listen, Michael, it's been really good talking to you. And a bioenergy healer, if you want to find out more, then check out Michael. It's Michael Doherty. He's been doing this for almost 30 years. Bioenergy sounds fascinating. I've always wanted to do, to go to somewhere like that where someone can sort out all my energies and all the other bits and pieces and have a wow. It sounds impressive, sounds amazing and interesting. I'm sure, though, obviously you need to speak to your GP if you have any serious ailments.